So we're making this video today simply because I don't really understand the whole craze behind milk tea or foam tea or whatever you want to call it. There seems to be a lot of them coming out in the market. I personally haven't really tried any, which is probably why I don't understand it much. So we went ahead to try one of the most popular ones right now, making rounds on social media with crazy lines. So we'll get people's feedbacks, see how they're going over there, and then we'll come back to the studio.
We waited for about 40 minutes.
2-3 hours, something like that.
Like 2 to 3 hours. Yeah.
After a few sips, it's like I feel like it doesn't really taste like milk tea. It's kind of more like milk with a lot of brown sugar in it.
Tastes like taho. Arnibal. Arnibal.
I think I like the pearls.
Yeah, the
The pearls
pearls are more chewy.
It's definitely creamier compared to other milk teas like cocoa, chatham, gongcha, or the cassie.
Mas creamy siya than other milk teas.
I feel like it's creamier than
Yeah,
the
it's
usual.
creamy. That's all I can do.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean,
It's a different kind of sweet. You know, it's not artificial.
It's definitely a must try.
It's good. Okay naman siya.
Masarap siya.
Yeah, it's really good. It's so far the best milk tea I had. I mean, in Manila. I actually had this in Taiwan. I think it tastes almost the same.
It's pretty intense, just for milk tea. This is it right here. This is the original from Tiger Sugar. There's some nice like caramel, sweetness, undertones to it. The tapioca balls are translucent brown. I'm not sure if that's because of the caramelized sugar thing, because they're only slightly sweet, not too sweet. Nice and chewy. I only very kind of like subtly taste tea. But I mean it's a comforting drink, right? So it's a tea, milk, you know, kind of that brainless combination that a lot of people love already. And you just make it cold, and then obviously the boba or the tapioca starch or the sagu, whatever you want to call it. It just gives it texture, you know, and makes it kind of fun to drink. So if you want to actually try and brave the lines, you know, this says brave as a tiger, go for it. But I'm gonna try to hack it at home. So there are a couple of intricate pieces and important pieces to this recipe if we're gonna get it right. One, obviously, is the tapioca balls themselves, the boba balls, if you want to call them that, and also the syrup, because one of the things that Tiger Sugar has that a lot of people take pictures of are those stripes of kind of like, I guess you can call it caramel on the side. So those are the things we kind of want to try and figure out. So the recipe is actually quite simple. It gave me major PTSD from my taho scandal.
How to make taho, basically a Filipino breakfast.
What you want to start off with is actually just dissolve some sugar with some boiling water. You're then going to throw in your tapioca starch. All that goes onto the stove, very low simmer until it gets really thick. Once it gets nice and thick, and you want to make sure you're continuously stirring that so that you're not burning the bottom or discoloring it in any way, you then roll out everything to really combine that dough, get that dough nice and acquainted with itself so it looks like one whole piece. Cut those into manageable pieces and then roll them out. When you're rolling them out, it's really important to try to get about 1 centimeter in diameter. At the end of the day, really, it's up to you how thick or how big you want those boba balls to be. Once they're completely rolled out, you'll see they're gonna be kind of sticky. You wanna roll them into balls. Make sure that they're nice and round, and then throw them into some tapioca starch. Then comes the next part. Really simple, you wanna boil and cook those boba balls for about 20 minutes on a low simmer. The way I decided to do it is boil it twice in some sugar water. So I went ahead and created a very liquid brown muscovado sugar syrup in which I cooked the tapioca balls. I cooked those for about 15 minutes. I then strained them into some nice ice cold water so that they retain that bounce and chewiness. Once they were nice and cool, I went ahead and made a thicker syrup this time. Same basic ingredients, some muscovado sugar, some water. I added a little bit of salt because I think it'll really just bring out all those caramel bits and flavors in there. And then that you cook for about 20 minutes. Once that's cooked, you want to take everything, including the syrup, out. You'll see this. So it's nice and thick. And on the other side, what I did to try to get those strings is I got a nice thick, just muscovado and water, no tapioca, whatever, sugar syrup here. And that's what's going to line our glass. All of this needs to cool down really, really well. And then obviously you're going to start steeping the tea. So all you want to do, I did 2 bags, over steep a little bit so it has a little bit of that bitterness because it's going to be mixed in anyways with some milk later on. It really comes down to how strong you want that tea flavor to be in the overall finished product. Time to make the tea. You could actually combine it, but I think a little bit of froth would be nice. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our oversteeped tea, put that in a little shaker. To that, I'm gonna add some full cream whole milk in there. The color is always kind of like a pale-ish beige brown. Here, you can come check it out. So there's just 1 ice cube in there. Quickly gonna shake that, just aerate it a bit. At this point, it's really just gonna taste like cold milk tea. So that's mixed. You'll see some bubbles. And that's kind of what I wanted to achieve. Just a little bit of aeration there. Now, we're actually gonna go ahead and make the bubble tea. So I'm gonna start with the pearls. And then gonna line the glass with the thicker syrup. And then we can go ahead and fill it in with the tea. So you should have something nice and frothy, nice and pretty, some strips on the side. All we gotta do now is actually try it. That's actually pretty good. Let me try those pearls. Look at them right here. They're well cooked through, they're nice and thick. So there you have it. Next time, if you don't want to brave the lines, you can make it at home. It's a really annoying recipe to make, so I probably wouldn't suggest it. But it's actually not that long. It's just a lot of in and outs in terms of process. Here are the total costs to make 1 portion of a homemade brown sugar milk tea. So now it comes down to you, how much you value your time, and how much of a fan are you of milk tea. At the end of the day, if you value staying in line for a long time to try milk tea, go for it. If you want to make it at home, go for it as well. You keep doing you. See ya.